what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So the prejudging for the 2023 California Pro just wrapped up, and based on this prejudging, I think we're going to have a pretty interesting result here. So it looks like the top two is not going to be what anybody really expected. Aside from Tonio Burton being in that top two, Ross Flanagan was in the top two call-out at the very end of prejudging, so it looks like it's going to be between Tonio Burton and Ross Flanagan. If you guys don't know who Ross Flanagan is, that's the guy that owns the Flavor Gang company, the seasoning company, the sauce company, and this is really a pretty big look for him. This is probably the best I've ever seen him look, and I definitely think he deserves this top two spot. This is the best conditioning I've seen him in. He looks huge in this lineup. And honestly, I wasn't expecting him to be in that top two, so really cool to see him crack the top two, especially in a lineup where he did have Sergio and Beef Stew from last week. But I still think at the end of the day, it looks to me like Tonio Burton is going to win this one too. I think he's going to go back-to-back. He just won New York. I think he did enough here to win. I think it's very similar to what we saw in New York. Tonio brought a very similar package here, and I think we're going to have a similar result where you've got a guy like Ross Flanagan who is bigger than Tonio. But I think overall, Tonio's very balanced physique and very balanced proportions combined with his conditioning is going to bring him the win here. I just think Tonio brings a very, very complete physique where there's very few weak points. It's very hard to beat Tonio in lineups like these, and I think you're going to have Tonio in first, Ross in second. And that brings me to the second portion of the prejudging, which was this call-out, which was essentially for third through sixth place. So in the middle of that call-out, you've got Sergio Oliva Jr., and Beef Stew, Stuart Sutherland. So I think Stew looked comparable to how he looked in New York, but I think he looked a little bit better in New York, and that might be why he slipped here. Honestly, though, I think it's pretty close for third place between him and Sergio Oliva Jr. Sergio Oliva Jr. did show up. He was able to compete. Now, he did say going into this show that he was a little bit nervous. He was a little bit stressed. Obviously, this was kind of a last-minute decision, a last-minute travel. He said he was holding water, and I think that is kind of what you saw here. You see a Sergio he's not bad, but he's definitely off a little bit. You can definitely see that he's holding water. His conditioning suffered a little bit here, but still, overall, I think a good version of Sergio. It's just definitely not going to be good enough for the win. And like I said, I think Beef Stew looked comparable to how he looked in New York, but he might still look good enough to place ahead of Sergio. I think he looked a little bit sharper and a little bit tighter than Sergio looked here, and I'm curious to see if Sergio continues to compete after this show, now that he's back in the States and has the opportunity to maybe stay here and actually do a proper peak week and a proper prep for one of the upcoming shows so he can actually, be a threat to win. Because I really think the reasoning for Sergio's look here was the last-minute nature of him showing up in Cali. And again, I'm glad he did. But for me right now, it's a toss-up as to whether or not Sergio is going to crack the top three. I think Beef Stew is actually really pushing him here. I got to say that Stuart Sutherland has really impressed me these last couple of shows. And putting him next to Sergio, he actually still looks really impressive. And I think there's a chance he takes third here. So I think right now, my prediction would be Antonio Burton wins, Ross Flanagan in second, Beef Stew in third, and Sergio in fourth. Now, if Sergio tightens up for the finals, I think he could find himself in that third place spot. But I think overall, it's conditioning here. It's water that's holding Sergio back. And that's something that I do think can be fixed for the next show. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. And as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Nick Strength and Power, signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power, my Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power, my secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.